Testing, testing, testing. My friends are so depressed. I fear the question of your loneliness. Confide, 'cause I'll be on your side. You know I will. You know I will. Ex-girlfriend called me up, alone and desperate on the prison phone. They want to give her 7 years for being sad. I love all of you, hurt by the cold, so hard and lonely too, when you don't know yourself. What's going on, everybody? Ahoy hoy. How are we doing? We having a day? I'm having a day. It's been a day. I apologize for missing a couple streams recently. My friends, my companions, my compadres, my porpoise pack, my pod of dolphins, my pod of orcas, my bauble of blue whales. I don't know what they call a group of blue whales. What do they call a group of blue whales? I would love to know that right now. Alex, find out. Group of blue whales. Does it have a name? But blue whales are solitary animals. Yeah, I know that. That's why I want to know what their name in a group is. Small groups are found eating krill sometimes. There is no term for a group collective of blue whales, as in a murder of crows would be known. A pod or a group would refer to whales, but there's nothing unique for blue whales. Okay, all right, fine. Wikipedia, thank you. I don't know if that's true. I'm going to have to call up my blue whale friends and ask them if that's actually how they like to be referred to. A squadron. Ooh, I like that, Sideshow. That's a good one. A squadron of blue whales. I like a squadron of shrimp. What's a group of shrimp called? Let's look that up. Like a group of like aquarium shrimp. I mean, I'm sure that's not what they're thinking, but what's a group of shrimp called? A flurry. A flurry of shrimp. I like that. They can also go with a fleet, or a hover, or a shoal, depending on the context. If they're out at sea, freshwater, or out in the open ocean in like a bait ball type thing. But apparently a flurry is the general term. You guys, you are learning so much cool stuff right here with me today. Yeah, I'm a little weird. No, I have no decorations still. But I'm here and I'm ready for action. So let's have a nice little chat. Let's talk about things. Let's see what's new in the world. I did want to shout out that I know Aquatic Arts is doing a bunch of stuff, and they're doing things. If you get their newsletter, you'll know that they do these buy one get one, or like say you buy any tetra. Well, then you get another 6 Ember Tetras free when you buy any other 6 Tetras. Like, they've been doing these deals every week. There's a different deal. Garamis, CPDs. They've done a bunch of different ones. And I was just messaged by the boss over there, and he's like, hey, nobody's used your code yet. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, nobody's tried to use your code yet on it. And I said, are they allowed to? I wasn't even sure if they were. And he said, that's a good question. It's like, that's a lot of discount going on. And it's not even Black Friday yet or anything. And I said, yeah, you're right. But we've been, partnered up for like 8 years, Aquatic Arts and Fishtory channel. Since we were the Secret History Living in Your Aquarium, right? So he kind of thought about it and he's like, you know what? Yeah, they can get all the sale prices, all the BOGOs, the, half off this or that, like all the stuff that's listed, you guys can get. So if it's a deal like that, or a deal that is already marked down in light green pricing, and you can just, add it to your cart, you guys can get those deals plus 15% off, which is 5% more than anyone else gets off there ever, just because I'm grandfathered in. And, they like our community here because we've been real regular customers. But any case, how are we doing, guys? Who is in here? I'm feeling America proud in here with the Eagle, Uncle Smiley's Aquarium. What's up, Fishcapades? Keith, Jody P, what's going on? Good to see you. Also, Garage Gills. I like that handle as well. And KJE Aquatics, always good to see you, my friend. Sideshow, who else is in here? Kenny, what's going on? Danikin, good to see you, Kenny. Hope you're making a full recovery. I saw that your crazy ass was out bowling. What'd you get? Like a 9 million or something? What'd you get? A 790 or something out bowling? Freaking less than a week after this guy has a stroke, like a full-on stroke. That's impacting like his meridian, like a stroke, and he's out of the hospital and playing bowling in his bowling league by 5 days later or whatever. What a savage. That shows you. I mean, I don't know if that's a testament to. I'm sure it's a testament to bowlers, right? That Kenny's like that. It's not that he's a Marine or a badass or, a fish keeper or one of a kind. No, it's probably that he bowls that makes him a badass. No, I'm glad you're doing all right, buddy. And, when it rains, it pours. You know that. I know that. You know how that goes too, when you just you get done with one thing and then it's like, congratulations, you are fired. And then congratulations, funeral, jury duty, this, that, next. Yeah, you know how it goes. But he's always got a good attitude. Very inspiring stuff. So I always appreciate you being here. Always appreciate you being around in our community, Kenny. And your support means a lot to me. So thank you, buddy. Charles, what's going on? Let's see here. We got Jeff Kane. We got Layla. What's going on? Welcome, Layla. We got Robert. Hello. We got Chris Junkin. What's going on? William Letty. What's going on? U.S. Marine Corps, for that matter. 72409. Hello. And who else am I missing in here right now? David Rayner, what is going on? Phoenix Star, welcome. Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. Ollie, the Puffer. Good to see you as well, Jan. Good to see you. Always good to see you. I know a lot of people, and then the Gerard family. Good to see you as well. I may have missed a couple people, but I'm scrolling down to where we're live so that we can kind of, keep things going, keep things rolling. Ozark Aquatics, what's going on? Gina Powell, what's going on? I am new here. My name is Gina. I've been binge watching all your videos all week. Well, let's get a round of applause for Gina. I need one of those. I do actually need one. I'm going to buy one. You know that? I don't even I don't have the money to go buy one, but I don't even care. You know what? I'm not going to pay my my medical $600 it is now a month. And I'm like, I can't pay that. So I'm going to tell them I can't pay that. I need $200 of that so I can buy a little sound effects board. Sorry. You're gonna have to wait. Medical bill, evil people. Terry LaPierre, what is going on? Welcome, welcome. Fishcapades. Alex forgot Fishcapades was me. Yeah, the names always show up all funny for me. Sometimes it doesn't give me, like, it gives me your handle or your email, and it like jumbles what is like what I'm seeing. Hey, what's going on, Lori? Good to see you as well. We got all sorts of great folks in here. So this is also why I posted in the community tab recently. I was like, I want to switch it up, guys. And Lewis, hello. How are you? I want to, and JP, hello. I wanted to, switch it up, and I know Tuesdays and Fridays at 4:30 p.m. Pacific, 7:30 p.m. Eastern-ish, give or take a half an hour, has been my slot in time for 6 years. And I'm thinking I'm not gonna do that. I think I want like an early slot one of the days, and maybe weekends works best, I hope. But at the same time, like, I have had kind of busy weekends as well. So I don't know what the new schedule should be. I'll probably keep Fridays the way they are. Yesterday I was having trouble with my brain. I wanted to stream so badly, and I was talking with my mom, who was over, and we'd been going to doctor's appointments all day and stuff. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm so excited to talk about this new species that they found, and these other new species that they found in the Amazon. These 3 that look. Okay, I got to show you guys this. We will go and look at it now while I'm thinking of it. But I just had like my mind was the problem is sometimes my mind gets scrambled, and ever since being sick, the injuries, all these things, and I don't know if it's like the medications, like year of being on antibiotics for 6 months, and the infection that was resistant, and yada yada yada, all these things that have gone on. I was just so dragged down that I lose my train of thought, and the train just like derails and then flies up into the atmosphere and becomes like an A10 warthog, and just starts like looping back around to like decimate the caboose on its own train. That's what my train of thought does. There's an image for people who are mildly autistic and can imagine trains and military aircraft transforming and metaphors and things. But that's not what we're here for. We're here for fish, right, guys? So I do have some cool news, and I wanted to share this with y'all, which is that George Lowe and Stephen Lowe of AFA, Aqua Forest Aqua Forest Aquarium. AFA, they've been around a long time. They're the first. Yeah, I'll say that safely. That's still open for sure. The first shop that was an ADA or a Japanese-inspired aquascaping shop, and they opened in 2003 or 2002, I believe, and they're in San Francisco, which is kind of fitting, for the Japanese import of culture that like right across the water. They just had to make a catapult and like send items one at a time across the water that way. Sorry about that, guys. And Jack Barlow, hello, welcome, come on in. Water's fine. I swear it is. Charles Weinard, still have 50 marbled Corys, 5 angels, bunch of mollies, and cool. Nice. Him Fleep, what's up? So yeah, what was I gonna say about I already lost my train of thought. So AFA. So they said, you know what, Alex, we have an offer for you. They had wanted me, I did a tour of their store when I was down in Sacramento, and then obviously their stores in San Francisco. I went down to San Francisco. I toured the AFA store, and I showed their aquascapes, but I also showed just kind of like the other stuff they sell at the store, seeing as they're technically a fish store is first and foremost, but they're known, for so much more in that they're the first store with a dojo with like all the stone hardscape, and the first store that really had like case after case after case of plants that were aquatic that were being farmed in the store, like before you could buy tissue cultures in the hobby or anything like that, like very early on. And yeah, it was morning driftwood, hello. Very early adapters of the hobby. Also, guys, if you could hit that like button while you're thinking about it, or when you're not thinking about it, that's fine too. I mean, whatever. I mean, just hit it. So they opened very early, and it's cool that they're still going and they're still inviting over, things like this year's first and or this year's winner of the International Aquascaping Competition, as well as the ADA Aquascaping Competition. They invited them over to build aquascapes, and they were basically resetting some tanks while I was there. And so Ivan Mikolji was with me at the time, and he and I were speaking down at the club in Sacramento, which was so lovely for the for their annual shindig event, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, I had a good time. I probably could have done a better job on my talk. It was on how you shouldn't trust YouTubers, and I think the crowd was was well educated enough that it was, and there weren't enough, like the headliners weren't of the event or anything were not like YouTube centric necessarily. Whereas, like, if they were, then there probably would have been more people in the audience coming just because of YouTube rather than because of Fish Club. And it probably would have been more, it wouldn't have fallen on ears that were already informed, which sometimes means deaf ears. But in any case, I had so much fun there, and I got to meet a whole bunch of people, including Ollie the pufferfish. Well, Ollie the pufferfish's owner, Jan, and quite a few other great folks. But anyways, and Kenny also at Tom Bar. But my health was no good, and that's right before I went into the hospital. Because of that, though, when I made the video of my tour at AFA on my little road trip down to San Francisco for the day trip, also my wife went with us, and Ivan Mikolji went with us. And by the way, Ivan's new book on wetland plants, marsh plants, and submerged plants of the Orinoco, so like aquatic and semi-aquatic plants of the Orinoco, that is now printed. I think you can get your pre-order on at his website right now, and signed copies and so forth. But absolutely a phenomenal book. I've seen it now in its full glory, and it is wow. I'll share a review as soon as I get a copy of the book in hand that's like mine. But all of that when we were down there was such a good time. We were talking with Luke Wong, also from the Sacramento Aquarium Society, and he was showing us around. He's a very talented aquascaper as well, and we were learning about, you know, the kind of the history of the aquascaping culture in America, because there were a few missing puzzle pieces to my understanding of like who started this whole like there's an American aquascaping style, and it developed a full probably 10 years after the Japanese or German styles, and maybe 20 years if you really want to say, like in the 80s you had people like Amano doing some things, but really he was kind of one sole artist. But then you have people like Patrick Blanc in France, you've got Michael Findlay and all these other people that have done things like taking nature and stacking stones, or taking all the leaves that have fallen in an area and making like a color collage in order of like the gradients of color, just using leaves that are on the site. There were these different artists that were playing with different like nature vibes and nature materials. But as far as like recreating an ecosystem, like, or a habitat for an animal, that was not really an art or a thing to say that there were people who were good or bad at necessarily. It was more like construction. It was more like, oh, we need to build a zoo exhibit. We need a biologist to consult, and then we'll plan out the space with an architect, and then with the biologist or a botanist, we'll plan out what the animals are that can be in there and what plants can be in there. And it was a very different energy than the idea of kind of this single person who understands space, understands design, understands the rule of thirds or the golden ratio, or however you want to say they understand visual, the visual language of aesthetically pleasing things and nature, whether that's fractals or just knowing how to reproduce fine art or fine nature, if you want to call it something along those lines. But it wasn't either like prop making, even where you're trying to make fake versions of nature. It's working with real aspects of nature and seeing how far you can push the cycle into an aquarium while still making it look beautiful, and having it being a piece of interior design that enriches the space we inhabit as the humans outside of the enclosure. I am here to comment on the lack of stickers on the wall behind you. I agree, guys. I know it looks bad. That probably kills my live streams a whole lot. Like in analytics, people flip through and they're like, "Well, that looks boring as hell," and it may be boring as hell. But the no stickers, no bumper stickers and T-shirts and books and stuff, it's not helping. That's for sure. You know, and I support the fish arts, you know, like fish, come on, fish room punks, packs. Yeah, I support it. I'm also one of them now, which is very cool. All right, let's see here. I think oh, I want to shout out too. What's going on, Johnny? Good to see you, buddy. Always appreciate having you with us, my friend. And thank you so much for giving out memberships to those less fortunate, to those who weren't fortunate enough to buy themselves their own membership. That was very nice of you, sir. And as always, much appreciated, never expected. Just love having you here, buddy. All right. And then Kenny, let's hope Alex that both our health is good enough this year to hit. Yeah, I know. I got to make it to the Aquatic Gardeners Association and the next coming, Findig. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see here. So, Justin, hello. I don't know. Is this hey man? Is that at me, Justin? Hello. Because hi. But yeah, so the lack of stickers behind me too. Let me finish up with this too, because I'm just babbling on, and you're like, Alex, get to the point of your story that you started 5 minutes ago. So if you guys have a channel, or if you have like Bob's Aquatics or Teddy's Aquatics, and you have a logo, or you have like a hat, a bumper sticker, a sticker for slap sticker, anything like that, feel free to send it to me, and I will at some point. I'm putting together. I've got like all these stickers from people like, you know, Kenny Danikin down there, from you know, there's lots. I have so many of those from various, you know, folks over the years. And yeah, it's like the garbage pail kids. You got it, Justin. Fish Dad 27, what's going on? Alex, any new art you can show us? Yeah, maybe. So anyways, let me, we got another fish membership. I wanted to say that we got another fish membership. So thank you again to Johnny, just throwing them around willy-nilly like there's no tomorrow. Thank you, buddy. Seriously, whoever got it, you was one lucky dog. Surround yourself with what you love. I agree. Girl 88, what's up? Hey everybody. Hello girl. Skipper, what's going on? Good to see you, man. I'm getting to see a lot of people streaming on a Saturday. I love it because, you know, you get to see a lot of people that you don't always see. It's been a minute. Whole time I get downtime before the auction is ready to go. Get her done. This is a big one. Hey, Skipper, what's the details on the auction? Give me the info. Give me the info on that, and we can post that, and we'll pin it. I'll pin it in the comments. I think I can do that. Is that something that's gonna? I think I'll let me do it. Yeah, I think I can still pin comments. I'll figure it out. But if you got a link to it, Skipper, are you? Hold on. Let me make sure you're like. No, you're okay. Let's see here. Can I add you as a? Can I do anything with you? Hold on. I might. Let me mute this, and I'll see if I can make you a moderator. But if you got a link to tonight's event and a little sentence blurb about it, I'll pin the comment to keep that of note. Always appreciate your auctions. Let's see if I can get. Turn this all down. All right. Let's see. Is this gonna allow me to? Are you my mommy? Okay. Here we go. Skipper. Okay, so I can go add as moderator. All right, Skipper. Since you are a man who has held prisoner, I'm going to trust you with full moderation powers. Aquarist auction link. Kenny is posting it also, who has the mod powers, so I appreciate that. I do. But Chris Junkin, Tropical Fish Co. Everyone has just been joking about Kenny bowling in the same week as having a stroke, right? That didn't really happen. That would be crazy for someone to do. Yeah, that would be crazy for someone to do, wouldn't it? It would almost be like when I got hit by lightning and I refused to go to the hospital that night and didn't go because there was a 6-hour wait in the ER, even though probably would have skipped the wait with my legs burnt and massive head trauma. Didn't want to find out though. Kenny and I are not a hospital kinds of people. We're doers. Come on. We'll be doing things until we break and can't do the things anymore. But that's the problem, is then we break and then we can't do the things anymore, and it sucks. Let's see here. Oh, nice. Somebody, I just saw that, where'd that go? Rolando Gonzalez says, I got Bacopa salzmani purple. Growing up out of the water with 4 side babies in a good patch of Rotala, Florida, Ramosua, Rosevig, I'm assuming. Awesome. That's super cool. Beautiful plants. Both of those species are lovely. All right. So, Skipper, if you... yeah, also, side topic, Skipper's aquariums there. I did draw the clockwork. Actually, you know what? Hold on. I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys. I'm going to be a tiny bit slow because I still have my 2 broken legs. But they're getting better. Like, here, I'll show you. I'm now in 1 soft cast, 1 hard cast. Look at this. I got and then I've got now, like, it's still hard on this side, and then, you know, like a special boot. But this side, not hard. It's like just totally wrapped up, and the heel's all wrapped up. But they're both busted. And then now I'm meeting with like my oncology team and trying to figure all that crap out. But things are getting done. It's just so incredibly complicated and difficult when you have like 5 different specialists trying to do things. But anyways, hold on. Let me go get you something. I want to show you guys something. Okay, and also the link for Skipper's deal here. It looks like I can put this for the Aquarius auction, rather. I shouldn't say Skipper's deal, but I know there are several amazing channels, folks, Aquarius breeders, all the things you can say about that. But how do I, come on, pin message. Yes, here we go. All right. So I pin the message. We're going to heart the message. Pin it, heart it, pin it, heart it. Yay. And 100. Okay, there we go. So anyways, the grind don't stop. Alex, I swear, the way, wait, I just saw something. Holly, hello. Roy, hello. Good to see you. Alex, I swear, the way your body is, you would swear you played in the NFL, man. I know, or boxing or something. I mean, the head trauma part, actually, I did sign up for a thing saying that I would give my brain for science because of the lightning thing. So they can cut it up and whatever, make origami out of it and take pictures of it, or I don't know what the heck they'll do with it. I hope it's something useful. Maybe that helps people. That's the ideal goal, right, you guys? So anyways, at Alex, Johnny's saying, I always been into making aquariums look like art rather than just plain and boring. Not having, contrast with the view. Yeah, I agree 100% that when I felt like I had lost my dexterity and my ability to do fine art after the lightning strike and after the series of small strokes that I had with the head injury part. And granted, like, I don't want to make that sound more dramatic than it is, because I healed back from it. You can go back and watch that time. You can actually see, like, when I would talk and I had like a real shaky voice during that time. And then I would just forget words and like say words like 2 or 3 times and then like break out of the, like, I don't know, writer's block in my brain that it had made. It was very odd. But I couldn't write with my right hand, and that's how I've painted, that's how I've drawn, that's how I've tattooed for, I mean, my entire adult and even my, my teenager life. Like, art was everything to me. So that was really hard to have to kind of make a new identity. But while I was recovering and I'd already started this channel out of passion and interest, I was getting better, and I was resting in a guest bedroom that had been just a room for rent in our house, but it soon turned into the room that Alex is sick in, with a broken spine after the lightning strike and a couple broken ribs, and all my teeth were jacked up. It was bad. But that's what gave me my first fish room. That's what allowed my wife said, okay, fine, you can have a rack of small aquariums to breed fish on. Just one rack won't hurt. And I was like, yeah. And then I fit 12 tanks in it. And then I was like, it looks kind of wobbly. Should probably take some of these tanks off. And I was like, oh, look, there's space on the tanks, or on the rack now. We should probably fill those spaces in. And then, rinse and repeat. But the art of the aquarium, or the aquarium as art, it 100% was the only thing I found, short of maybe music. And I say that as someone who can't play the guitar very well. I very, very beginner level guitar, power chords, some strumming, some I don't even know how to say basic stuff. But that was another way that I kind of felt that, like, artistic expression coming back out. And it wasn't, so I felt like I needed that a little bit, and doing aquarium work, aquascaping, and then oddly enough, just getting fish to breed, or getting plants to look good that were hard to even keep at one point. So at some point they had to have been a challenge to me. And then at another point, like, it represented a challenge understood or conquered or defeated. That really inspired me. And that really helped, like, honestly save my mental sanity, help keep me going. And right now it's doing the same. Except for now I'm facing again where I'm literally so limited and struggling that I can't even lean over the aquarium standing. I need either a wheelchair pulled up beside it, or I can stand for a few minutes, or, can't carry more than 2 gallons lately, can't get anything wet. There's so many limits, but I still feel this, like, creativity, or this, like, maybe it's not creative, maybe it's like creating is the issue. Like, building models and things kind of gives me that vibe too. And when you're doing that and you have a vision too, like, it's like building a watch and knowing how all the little gears fit, and just trusting in the process once you've done it enough times, that you understand a more and more and more complex watch each time you're playing that game, each time you wind up that watch. And then you'll let it go. And even, like, on YouTube and with the channel and things, it's like you let it go, and you're going to tell people, and they're going to watch you put the pieces in. And then you let go and you take your hands off the clock or the watch, and you're like, I hope this ticks. I hope this keeps time accurately. And sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. And you learn something, and you go back and you work on it again. But yeah, I 100% agree that even if it's not a visual art project, the aquarium feels like a work of art. Once you understand a system, you're building a system, and you can get that very elaborate, like where there's no filters, and you're trying to make it handle a fish load that otherwise would go foul and destroy your ecosystem within a month. Or you can, you know, add all the safety bumpers, and you can have good filtration, healthy filtration. And maybe your goal is just to have really, really clean water and like no algae and, you know, just the fish looking good and all this stuff. And that's a totally viable and, you know, understandable goal as well. But either one of those, there's the visual component, there's the artistic component, and then there's the actual creating and understanding and fostering, like the creation of, the setup of, and the release of, and then watching it develop and mature. And that is a very rewarding piece of aquaria and of fish keeping that I think a lot of people just kind of take for granted sometimes. And I never want to take that for granted. I always want to say that, you know, I feel so incredibly fortunate. I mean, I have a roof over my head, and even though, you know, it's funny as I say that, there's the big crack in the ceiling here from when our roof was leaking. But we got the roof replaced last summer, and then literally a week later, the health stuff happened. But the roof is over my head is the point. That's where I was going with this. There's a roof over my head. I'm alive. You know, things are good. I'm here with you guys. The community's here, and you know, I can still sit down and read a book. I can still watch a video of the incredible fish. Like watching right now, I'm watching Chris Lukop and Corey of Aquarium Co-op. The stuff they're posting from Brazil every day is just mind-blowing stuff. Super cool. Anyways, I'm gonna grab Skipper's thing just to show you guys. Somebody asked if I had any new art or anything of, you know, kind of interest like that. So let me do that real quick. Everybody wants to rule the world. There's a room where the light won't find you, holding hands while the walls come tumbling down. I'll be here, I'll be right beside you. So glad we almost made it. So sad we had to fade it. Everybody wants to rule the world. All right. Looking like Quasimodo in this beast. Got this little, probably get in trouble on YouTube for this. This is a toy that I put little felt balls in for the cat. And it launches them, and she loves this thing so much. I think it's more work for me to actually do that than to just throw a little ball, but whatever. Okay. All right. Get settled back in here. All right. The other person that I have to thank, you know, on this channel too, just for being a badass, Serena, she makes some really cute and visually appealing stuff too. So live life as if someone is looking up to you. Pretty cute. Anyways, that's not the art I did. That's her art. And then we got Kyle's fish punk art. Slimy Susie Slithers. I actually got a whole bunch of them right here. I don't have my own one yet, though. he did show me that and sent me a big old file. But the thing that I was gonna say, because Skipper brought it up, and he's doing an auction later. Come on! I like his logo font and everything the way he laid it out, but he got their illustration of a corridor trilineatus steampunk style from me. Yeehaw. I love that logo. I mean, that was the perfect thing to do with that artwork. and I think I don't know if he ever used it, but two different people. I won't say names out loud actually, but I know two different people that are big, well-known shrimp and fish keeper folks wanted the mechanical shrimp, and I was like, yeah, whoever wants it, take it first. I don't charge for these things. Like, go at it. Like, if it's art I've already created, like, just ask me, and yeah, you can have it. Let's see here. Diane Whelan hopes to get a membership. Well, I hope you do too. All right, let's see here. So, what did I just see? I thought I just saw Jeff given 10 memberships. Holy smokes. Jeff, do I have your? I think I do. Do I want to do that to poor Jeff? I think I've got his Fish Punks card over here somewhere. Actually, no, I don't right here. These ones that I have are, but I do have this one, which just cracks me up. Fangers. And this is the like, ooh, it's rainbow tinted. I don't know. It just cracks me up. Do I have? Okay, I know. But yeah, so that's exciting. But 10 memberships, so cool. I hope all of y'all got one who come and watch the show. And that was very, very nice of you, Jeff. That was so nice of you. Thank you very kindly, my friend, supporter of the channel, friend of the channel, channel of the channel. Guys, go check out Jeff. Jeff is a good dude. Empire of Dirt Aquatics. Good dude incorporated right there. Thank you. Also, I see it popped up. I don't know why it's not showing up. Oh, here we go. Thank you for your talk at Findig. Hey, it's Jan. What's up? We loved it. We will host AGA here, Sacramento, April 22. Right on. Yeah, that's so exciting. I'm gonna try. If for some reason I'm not able to get there because of anything related to my health that started already right now, I'll have checked out if I'm going on 2 years of that and impacting my life. Because I stepped on a bottle of glass, a piece of glass, a glass bottle, and then it got infected, and then the infection was resistant, and then my autoimmune thing went crazy, and then I was in bed too long, and then the infection ate away at the calcium in the bone because of the autoimmune medicine they gave me. And then that broke, and then the other bone broke because it's like a comedy of errors. You couldn't have set up dominoes to screw up my my day any worse than the way the universe did for that. I just have to laugh. I really do. Lisa the Wolf, what's up? Welcome, and I like the name. All right, let's see here. Oh, don't feel bad, Alex. They have not done one of Danny we need a Danikin Fish Punks card next. Yeah, I'm gonna lobby for that. I will lobby for that now. Fangers is mine. All right. Oh, so I was gonna tell you guys. Hey, new local Austin. Good to see you, man. I love seeing folks that I haven't seen in a moment and stopping back by. But yeah, let's see. What else did I miss? Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to catch up on who got the golf card. House of Pisces, what's up? What's up? golf card. I don't know. Oh, gold card. Oh, I don't know who got the gold card. Look closely at the fingers card. Okay. All right. I'm listening. I'm gonna find out. We'll see what happens. My logo is in the corner. Oh, look at that. Look at the lore. There's lore galore. And it's my holographic card of the pack, too. This is from his first release of these that had the holographs. And I think now he's got like several different ways he does things. It's much more streamlined now, for sure. But yeah. Yeah, the AGA is merging with Findig this year in Sacramento. Yeah, that's really exciting. Cool. Stan, which Stan is in here? Whose Stan is in here? Is it Stan from the Eminem song? He's gone home, I'm wondering why. Bare bottom Branton, what's going on? We got some fish punks, and we got some Craig. What's going on? Any new fish, Alex? Not really. No. I was trying to think. I did buy about a month ago. I bought a new Snow White bristlenose, but I've had the other two for like, I guess 4 months now, 5 months. So that's really the only new fish. And I haven't gotten any new plants in a long while, other than a few of my plants that went all summer outside that have gone to seed now, that were hybrids and projects. There are 2 new generations. One is a Persicaria maculosa, and the other one's a Persicaria Cowageum, and they were crossed. And they've got little purple hearts on the leaves, and they have the little purple heart, but it's kind of morphed into more of a teardrop, but it stays underwater. And that's what I was trying to like, that was what I was trying to find, was if I could get the purple splotch on the leaf to appear underwater in high light and CO2. And it's seeming like I'm on the right track. So I'll have to keep playing with it, but that's beside the point. No, I don't have any, I haven't taken on. Okay, I need to get to the point of what the heck I was saying. And I have a whole other thing to get lost in before I get to that point. So let me just say this point first. And I'll say this will be a tease. This will be like, we're going to talk about this another day. But this is a new book out by Oliver Jameson. And it is How to Create an Organic Aquarium. It's very nicely made. He wrote me in the process of making the book. I had not a ton of feedback, honestly, on what he was doing, because it's kind of pretty self-explanatory, doing a good job. But he got the UV rubberized cover, which makes it feel like a brand new, like the box that like high-end Canon or Apple or Samsung, any like high-end phone or product that's like $1,000 for something that fits in your hand. That like nice feeling texture that's a little bit matte and a little bit grippy, a little water repellent, water resistant-ish. They coated the cover in that, and then you can see the different glare on the font. And that's what I said, was switch up the textures, make it feel like it's worth 20 or 30 bucks, and then sell it for 15, but that's a small note. I've just printed several of my own books, and this thing is pretty cool, and I'm going to go over it with you guys in the future. But I'm pleasantly surprised that there's all these little illustrations and like custom info in here about pretty much dirted aquarium, nature style stuff, and it's cited for the most part. But I mean, little illustrations of the tanks and stuff look pretty good. Looks nice and clean. So this is something that's not even out on the market yet, but I have this pre-advance from the publisher and the author from the UK. And so I'll be reviewing it for sure, but also just sharing my thoughts on it as well. And the other thing that I was going to let you know, Amy, hello. Can betta fish just live off Monia? Yeah, Daphnia fish can live off just Daphnia if they're insectivores, or if they are, well, actually they can probably live off them even if they're not just insectivores. The thing is, Daphnia are going to eat single cell organisms of algae out of the water, and they're also going to eat vegetative matter. They're going to eat the chloroplast that's in that single cell algae like organisms and things like that. Plus, they're going to eat zooplankton, whatever you want to call it, and phytoplankton too. And so they're, well, freshwater versions of it and so forth too. But you're going to get a mix of what they eat. And they are the first level of organism that can actually kind of pick and choose and eat a little bit of everything. And they're not detrivores or specialists. And so rather than just eating, crackers like white worms or something like that, they actually can have a pretty diverse composition of what the ingredients of different, whether that's little microscopic little single cell organisms that they're eating, or whether that's algae they're eating, or little teeny tiny insect larvae, whatever it may be. There is a diversity of that. There's also a diversity of Monia, of Daphnia species. And yeah, so you can feed most fish those indefinitely in theory. But if you ever are feeding your fish something and you're feeding them just something, always keep an eye out for the fact that even if it's supposedly that they only eat something like where people think that only snails are all that this little puffer needs, understand that in captivity, these snails and things, they're not grazing on the same biofilms or on the same algae or whatever it may be, the same rotting, decomposing fish that are at the bottom of a river or a lake when you're in nature. And so therefore they might not have the protein content in the snail from breaking down the meat that it was eating or the plant that it was eating at a certain time. They can oftentimes be suboptimal in their nutrient efficacy. So like they're eating, a lot of times they're eating things that are not optimally nutritious, in that they've already lost some of their nutrition breaking down and stuff like that. But at the same time, all those things, so everything from Daphnia to scuds to a lot of little shrimp and things as well, they are great for the fish to eat because they then have a sampling of all these little very microscopic level of food mixtures, and that kind of changes with how much light's in the tank, how much how are your nitrates, how has this changed, what's the temperature been like, and what are those little things eating, are they getting enough sun? All these things make a big difference. And do you have a video of my favorite books? Rolando, I do have a video of some of my favorite books. I think that's what it's called, some of my favorite aquarium books. And then I also have a couple live streams where I've gone over different shelves, so I'll just pick up a whole shelf and I'll go over 20 books for whatever, an hour. And then so Skipper's last auction of the year is in 38 minutes, everybody. That means in about 8 minutes, I'm going to get out of here. So there's a good half hour for them to get ready. Nice. Yeah. So, thanks for sharing that info with us, Sir Kennison. Like the comedian Kennison. What was I gonna say about is there a list posting up what is gonna be in the Aquarist auction? It's easy for folks to see. Oh wait, no, past live streams. I'm seeing that. October 19th. Is that today? Is that what the night? Today's the 19th, right? No, it's the 18th. Well, Kenny says, or I mean, Skipper says that they got a good stream tomorrow too, with the wave makers. So Ed, Greg Sage, nice. Yeah, I'll have to see that too. Yeah, go check out the things going down. M&C Aquatics going down over there. Yeah, you guys go fish around over on the auction and find yourselves comfortable in that community if you don't already know them. Let's see here. Looking for a good deal on about 20 fire red cherry shrimp. If you want them for $2.99 a piece, you can get them from from Moonlight Aquatics, and you'll get another 10% off that as well with my code Fishtory 10. If you want, I don't know where you're gonna get them cheaper than $3, really, unless you know someone firsthand in the community. Then you might get them for as cheap as like free or 50 cents or something. It really depends. Alex, I'm rethinking on bringing art to the way of aquarium keeping. Yeah, I've really been debating. So this is a talk. The list is in the description of for the auction. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Ed. Appreciate it, buddy. Or why did I say Ed? Skipper. I'm reading down here. I've got the Ed and the Greg Sage thing pulled up earlier. Anyways, so the last thing I'm going to leave you with before I get out of here, and I'm going to tell you guys, if you are looking for a good time tonight in a half an hour, go on over to the pinned comment. Go on over to Skipper's Aquariums. He's having an auction. I got I would love to get some tiger teddy live bears. I don't know, Luis Carlos Santa Maria. I would love to get some tiger teddy live bears. There's been times in my life where there's people who are like, I got 15 of these things. Take them from me. And I'm like, I don't have a tank for them. I'm sorry, man. And now for like 3 years, I can't freaking find them when I've been like, oh, I'd love to get a hold of some of those. Those kind of fascinate me. But yeah. So now I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go and tell you guys the thing that took me like half the stream to tell you, which was when I was down in the AFA. So I did the video. You can go watch the video of me touring the AFA store in San Francisco, the earliest aquascaping store in the United States, in the Western Hemisphere, really. Brazil had two count them two aquarists and artists, patrons, if you will, that had the means and the connections and the interest in also doing something with aquariums in around 2004 or 5. And they also developed the actual Brazilian style aquarium, which came to be known on its own. But there's no American style aquarium, as it were, other than like clown gravel, rainbow bright gravel, and glow lights and this and that. And unless you want to say tchotchkes and divers on bubble air stones and things like that, there, which is certainly a style of fish tank aesthetic, not one that I particularly enjoy unless it's very retro. And then I find it just kind of fascinating, like who first came up with the cultural icons, like the clamshell that opens with the pearl in it and then the bubbles come out, or the diver that goes up and down, or the deep sea diver, or the one with the deep sea diver and the kraken arm that kind of grabs it. There's a few that are pretty funny, that are interesting and have been in the hobby for a long time. But I was doing that episode. Not a ton of people watched that episode, and so I was a little bit deflated on that, to be honest. But I had such a good time. Talked with the owner at AFA San Francisco, and they are the ones who brought like tissue cultures into the game in the Americas for aquariums. They're the ones who brought rimless tanks to America and the low iron tanks to America. Just absolutely groundbreaking stuff. And so I got to talk to them, and I am going to also hopefully have them on the channel as kind of a podcast segment, of which I'm actually right now in the process. I've tracked down about 10 people that I really want to speak with about kind of the how things unfolded in the aquarium hobby, like what things developed that you may have heard of, but like how it really happened, like how cherry shrimp got to the Americas, or who was the first person to go out and collect the crystal shrimp, or like why did those become so popular or whatnot. So anyways, that's a story for a different day. Stephen Lowe, the owner that was so inspired by Mr. Amano and his art, his aquariums, his just beautiful, like in Portugal right before he passed away, the massive room install of just like a Dutch / naturescape of texture and color and just overwhelming beauty. He decided to open his own store, and they opened their store. They copied that style, and they tried to embody it as much as possible. And they've done a good job in that they've stayed open. They've got people into the hobby. They got those products that once were only in Japan for years and years and years, that you'd have to like literally go to Japan and go pick up that rimless small little tank and then fly back with it or whatever, or send it back very carefully, big old glass tank, that's fragile, and come back with the stainless steel little pumps and the lily pipes that are hand-blown glass and all this stuff. And that's a whole other thing you don't want to get caught with in Japan, is some hand-blown lily pipe glass. They are very strict when they think that it has to do about rugs. So yeah, you want to be careful with that. But they brought all that stuff to the fore and made ADA known in America. Also, reaching out to Brazil and other creators that were early innovators at the time, trying to bring things to fruition. A couple people in New York and DC, Seattle, Aquarium Zen as well in Seattle. Steve Waldron was another name that was working on those things. And they asked when I filmed the video how I was able to know when they showed that they planted aquariums, and I stopped and I froze the video shot, and then I drew with a pen and pad in time lapse, or a pen on my tablet in time lapse, fast forward time what's that called? Time lapsing, I guess. Yeah, I guess it's just called time lapsing when it's fast, or hyperlapsing. And I then compress that down so it looks like, moving a million miles an hour as you're drawing everything. But I did that and showed like how the plants that were just at that time little low green dots were going to grow into colorful plants. And I drew like how that was going to happen kind of in several different stages. And they thought that was really cool, especially because like they were a little bit sad that like the shop, I think, that I was there when they didn't have everything looking its most epic and pristine, because a lot of times you're building those aquariums, those aquascapes, you build them for a moment or for a month or a week or a couple days or whatever it may be, but it's built for this time when it's going to shine and everything's going to be trimmed perfectly. And it takes so many other iterations and so much skill and knowledge before you get there to set the ground floor for that. And I have always had fun with seeing what people's minds are thinking about when I see how they're planning their hardscape, their aquascapes, their aquariums. And so they invited me originally back when I was sick last year to come down and to meet this Japanese guy who's second in the world. I couldn't make it. I was sick. It was a bummer. They're like, we'll pay for your plane ticket, which I was like, I was just down there. Like, are you kidding? And they're like, yeah, we want to have you. We want you to film this. We want you to do that thing again where maybe you draw like what it looks like when it's planted, but what it will look like in 6 months and in a year. And so I decided yeah, I'd love to do that. And I was basically about to say yes. And that's when, as you guys know, all the health stuff happened. So everything was on hold and I wasn't sure what they thought for a while. And now I know that they didn't forget about me at all. They were just waiting for the right time, I guess, or whatnot, to ask me to actually do my own aquarium and build as a they wanted to sponsor a project on the channel. So we have a creative project, and as I was mentioning earlier, this ties into the whole like the process is the art, and the outcome of the natural processes set into place. You are the watchmaker. You are this deity, or this force. I shouldn't say deities, not trying to be sacrilegious, but you are this universal force for this container, for this tank. And your understanding of things, everything from chemistry to biology to how you interpret the horizon line on things, all those things are filtered through this context of aquarium, aquascaping, art, and the scale of the space in a house, in a living organisms, in a rainforest, in water, in your house. Like it's such an Inception type thing. But anyways, they want to do something with that, and they want to send me basically a voucher thing so that I can set that up, and hopefully we'll set it up right over by the liquor cabinet, which it's only, I think it's only 20 inches across, so not much can really go there that well. But then right there, this is where the cat eats, down at the floor here. And that's a 6 or 8 foot wall from here back to the back of the house. So that's where I'm hoping to put this stuff and set it up. And I'm thinking of doing a very dark plant tank, doing the beautiful new plants that are in the hobby that are those deep reds and purples and things. And I think it's going to be CO2, and why not utilize all the pieces of what I've learned over time and just, put them all together, shake and bake, and see what we can come up with all the bells and whistles. Fish room picks. Yeah. I need to get some for sure. We need to do a tour of my fish room too. Big Commerce is fired up. Oh, nice. All right, guys. So also, you guys, before I go, last thing I'm going to tell you before I tell you this. So stay tuned. We're going to talk about what I'm going to do as AFA sponsors an aquascape. 60p aquarium is what they're sending me with all the gear, it sounds like, with a light and everything. And whatever plants they have tissue cultures of that I request, it sounds like. So we'll be working with the best quality stuff as far as that goes. And I'm really excited about it. So I want to bounce off you guys what you'd like to see, because we'll definitely make several episodes, like a hardscaping talk and maybe one about the micro ecosystem. Like, do you want to include waste, algae, and icky as part of the aesthetic of your nature aquarium, or do you want it more sterile and tidy and clear to the image of, this is the stone and it is black, this is the leaf and it is green, there should not be green on the stone unless a leaf has fallen on the stone, something as strict as that. But I do find it interesting and all that. And so that'll be a really cool project, and I'm super stoked on that. And yeah, Johnny Best says, Alex, like to see the pink aquarium. Johnny, are you saying you want to see the pink aquarium now? The lights aren't actually on over there, but I can show you a picture of the pink aquarium. And I've had several aquariums that I did color codedly. And one of them definitely I'd like to bring back on the channel and discuss. Where is that picture? But the last thing I wanted to tell everybody before you go to Skipper's channel and buy up all his auction items where they're doing cool stuff for local fish breeders, and by local I mean US or all over the place. I think it's pretty cool what they get up to over there. And yeah, I got some 333 albino 333s for like a steal of a deal, like I don't know, $45 a fish or something like that. Incredible deal way back when. Anyways, so that is cool. I'm going to talk about this book later. I'm going to talk about the fact that I'm be building that aquarium and getting that sponsorship kind of thing later. But also, of course, we've got Jason in the house of Redfish Bluefish, and Jason has the premier European fish shop, and he also has interesting stuff, some bread and butter stuff, but also some really interesting stuff that in some places you may think, oh, I know what that is, it's blah blah blah. Other places you may think, I don't even know what species that is. And it turns out that, in a certain part of the world, this Corydora is half black, half white, whereas in another part of the world it's brown and yellow or something. But it's just a different collection point. And he has, like, he's got weird stuff, he's got rare stuff, he's got cool stuff, and he's got it. He's a friend of mine for years now, both officially on the channel. We're officially friends. But also, you know, in real life, we met. He came into the Seattle shop when he and his family had just moved to town, and I was working there, and we hit it off and just became friends ever since. But he has a shop of his own nowadays, and you probably know it and love it, and it is Redfish Bluefish. So the shop being Redfish Bluefish .shop. That is, let me type that out. Redfish, 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 Bluefish. Bluefish, bluefish dot shop, not .com, dot shop. So, oh, I forgot the HTML part and all that stuff. But let's see what. Oh, it didn't load it anyways. It's fine. Redfish, bluefish dot shop. Guys, check out his epistos. Check out his nanofish. I wouldn't steer you wrong. I don't have any like crazy, like you get 1,000,000% off. No, none of that. It's just high quality fish that a friend who's a hardworking dude, a good dude, is back in business selling. And I want to get that known for those of you who used to buy stuff from him and rant and rave on here about it. Well, he's back and he's going into full effect for the winter. So pretty cool. All right, you guys, I got to get out of here. If it's the last thing I ever do, getting tired anyways, getting kind of run down on my my eyes are getting dry, which makes me eyes tired. My peepers are tired. And I'm turning into a leprechaun. All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to get out. Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah, there it is. Fish right there. Boom. Redfish, bluefish, aquatics. Oh, wait. Actually, might be redfish, bluefish, aquatics might not be quite right, Lori, unless it also redirects there. Is that, Jason, what's the status on that? I do know, though, that redfish, bluefish .shop for sure will get you where you need to be. But either way. Oh, okay. Yeah. So redfish, bluefish .shop is the one we want. So it's HTTPS little thingy. Oh, come on, computer. Computate my .shop. All right, boom. I think I got it. Yeah. All right. So Jason just posted it again. I got it again. I got it. We got it, guys. Yeah, it's the .shop suffix. Gets them every time. But then head over to Skipper's auction after that too. You guys can buy lots of fish. And I was gonna go shop at Aquatic Arts online and see what else was new over there, because they are breeding a bunch of stuff now that they bought that new facility years ago. Remember when the company almost shut down because everything exploded in society, and they bought an all new warehouse, and then the company tried to open a new branch right during that time, and that didn't work with Vivi. Well, now they have that new branch, and they're able to breed and buy and work on projects and so forth that are huge, and they've got the space for it, and they've got the place for it. So yeah, we'll see. So guys, I'm gonna get out of here, and I will be back someday when you need me, when your need is at its greatest. Thank you so very kindly to the super chatters, to the duper chatters, to none of you that chatter, to the chitter chatters, and to the cheddar chatters, and to the chads that chatter. Is that a verb, to chatter? It's more of an adjective. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna go put my feet up because I'm feeling beat up, and I'm gonna get you should do more videos touring your fish room. I know, I should. There's nothing in the fish room right now that looks super cool at the moment. Unfortunately, yeah. To the Cheddar Rockets. Yeah, there's not a lot in there. I mean, we can go to the fish room again soon, of course. Any new fry I try to share with you folks. But yeah, all right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm just rambling on, man. Gambling, man. I was born down by the riverside, learned to play the fortune wheel and roll dice. I was just 13 when I had to leave home. I couldn't stick around, no, I had to roam. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later. And yeah, oh, well, yeah, I can definitely do that. Gerard family. We'll take a look at the tanks. We'll do that next live stream, most likely. And hopefully I'll see you then. I haven't decided, but I did put up a post saying, when do you guys want me to stream? You know, I can stream whenever. It's just sometimes, obviously, I want one day a week that's for sure going to be the same time, but the other one can float around and maybe catch some of you that don't always get to see streams, and that will mean one less stream that is predictable for y'all to catch, but it will also mean like either have your alerts on, or you can watch it later, or you can ask questions in the comments or to community members. There's a lot of solutions to all these issues. So have a wonderful night, and I will talk to you later. We will have a wonderful night, and we will talk. How do you say blah 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 fish? Mazel tov.